85 years old. Tell you a quick story, a poignant story that Mrs. Martzke told me. She was telling me that Rudy, this is really a nice story, but I can't believe this, but at 5 a.m. every morning, Rudy would get up and take his oldest son, Michael, make sure he would get to the 3rd grade every morning. I thought, golly, I mean, it's really incredible. Until I found out that they were in the same class together. Gentleman has got his hand over his mouth like he's never heard anything like that. This gentleman works for everybody. He works for TNT, he works for WTBS, he's also on NBC. He also is another gentleman like Mr. Packer that's got to get up very early, he's got to take off tomorrow. Craig Sagan. Craig?
I'm trying to get rid of my ass or what? I just changed my flight so I can stay and play golf tomorrow. Fred, first of all, that Rudy Award, that doesn't mean shit. No, I remember a couple years ago, I was so excited. I was named the 2nd best NFL reporter, behind OJ. You know what happens? Okay. And then I got the Report of the Year award. And that son of a bitch didn't have guts to give it to me. He called it the Jim Gray Award. Needless to say, I sent it back. But anyway, we were talking about Rudy, and didn't you mention Dr. Jack about St. Louis? You know, Rudy doesn't let facts get in the way of a good story. You mentioned St. Louis. Well, I asked Rudy, seriously, for a resume. Now, normally you ask for a resume. You stop talking. You ask for a resume, usually you get from your company. He sends his own out. I swear to God, this is it. It says here, you got to start with the St. Louis team of the ABA. What it doesn't say is, the team folded when they moved to Atlanta, they left his ass behind. Did not bring him. Did not bring him to Atlanta. Now, Atlanta became a pretty darn good sports town without him. Georgia Tech, they both won national championships. The Atlanta Braves won the World Series. We hosted the Olympics. Even the Falcons made it to the Super Bowl. And then, I call it the curse of the 3 R's. A triumvirate of trouble all moved to Atlanta in the same year. Now listen. Ryder, Rocker, and Rudy. The same year. Now we used to be known for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Jimmy Carter, and Ted Turner. A humanitarian, a president, and an entrepreneur. Now we're known for an idiot, a bigot, a mudslinger. And it also says here on his resume that he puts out, Brent, you're going to love this. He got the Distinguished Journalism Award from the University of Wisconsin. First of all, does that mean anything? From Wisconsin? Let me call my fellow alum from Northwestern. This was his column last Monday, okay? Now we're not talking, this is Monday. What happened last weekend? Oh, let's see. Tiger Woods, one of the greatest performances in the history of golf. Chicago White Sox swept the world champion Yankees in New York. Shane Mosley against Oscar De La Hoya. What do we have here? I'm not making this shit up, okay? The Reporting Award. NBC's Bob Costas, noting that Pacers coach Larry Bird guaranteed a Game 5 win to Jim Gray. That's a report. Brent, You went to Northwestern with me. Who gets the award? Is it Larry Bird? Is it Jim Gray? Is it Bob Costas? I mean, seriously. Sandoval? Is that a report? Now, if Larry Bird said, I guarantee you lost, I mean, that's sort of, what is that? God! Oh, man. I have a complex. I'm not done yet, okay? All right. Then, to make things, I have a Jim Gray complex. You actually said that? Now wait, stop. Now wait. Hey, we don't like to kiss your ass once in a while. Well, I'll be damned if I'm making a full-time job. And on top of that, there's no way in hell I'm going around the front. So let's put that story to bed right now. It also says here in his resume. Now this is the best. Right? He was featured in Gentleman's Quarterly. It says that. Featured in Gentleman's Quarterly. Rudy in GQ? Give me a break. No, are you serious? Okay. That mugshot you talked about, his high school picture. All right, now this is Rudy. Oh my God. This is Rudy. Now, I apologize for those who there's so much high sodium glutamate. Number one, you need a sports bra. And have you ever really, when's the last time you saw little Rudy? Those legs look like they came out of Colonel Sanders' bucket. Have you ever seen him play golf? I play golf as his partner today. See this adipose tissue back here? That's fat, as in your ass. He gets up, wiggles that stuff. Looks like he has a potato chip in his butt that won't break. Hey, I'm sorry. I had to tell it in black and white because you know me. No gray areas around me. But is there anybody here that knew this monster before USA Today created him? Is there anybody out there that knows Rudy before we all? Your mother? Can I hit this mic or is there another
I
mic?
have some other friends.
Well, yeah, there's a couple guys on.
Where?
Come on.
Is there anybody who knew Rudy before he became Rudy of USA Today? Like if USA Today folded, nobody knew who he was?
There.
Where?
We need a mic.
37 years before he met his wife. At Rogan, Chicago.
I'm the great Karnak Lenny from San Francisco.
You know the answers? And here we go. The first number is the number 100.
This is the number of times that we've asked Rudy not to tell anybody we're his friends. We've only seen Rudy on daytime TV twice. Once, under his name, said, Rudy Martzke, friend of OJ. And the second time it said, Rudy Martzke, friend of Marv Albert.
You guys are terrible. 0.
The number of times Rudy has picked up the tab for dinner since college.
Numero uno, number 1.
Number 1 is the number of times Rudy finished ahead of Michael Jordan as one of the 100 most powerful men in sports. True story.
1,001.
Number of times Rudy has reminded us that he finished ahead.
Dose, number 2.
Number of new best friends Rudy introduced us to today.
Number 3.
Number of new best friends Rudy has met since dinner started.
Rudy, you can put your head away now because this is a picture of you at Orient Beach. Number 4.
The picture up. Number 4 is the maximum size in centimeters of little Rudy. After Rudy came running out of the Atlantic naked.
The number 44, Rudy.
This is the number of ride times Rudy has told us how cold the Atlantic was that day.
55.
This is the number of new best friends that Rudy brought to this roast so that Danny Sheridan would have to pay for them.
66.
It's the number of the top 100 golf courses in the world that Rudy has played for free.
77.
The number of times that Rudy wrote that John Tesh was fantastic at the 96 Olympics.
88.
This is the number of times this week that Rudy has reminded us that he was responsible for Bob Costas' career.
0. And this is a photograph also.
Take a good look. 0 is the number of times that Rudy and Fred Edelstein had been seen together in the same place prior to the terrible cloning experiment that went wrong.
The number 1, who know again?
The number of times Rudy has paid for golf in the year 2000. In fact, as we all know, that was today, because Danny was supposed to pay for golf.
1 million to 1. 1 million to 1.
Those were the odds given by Danny Sheridan that Rudy would never make it past the first year at USA Today.
However, number 5, Danny.
That's a number of times that A.J. Foyt won the Indy 500 before he punched Rudy out and tried to make Danny right.
Okay, 3 to go. 0.
Number of women editors who like Rudy.
Number 2.
Number of women who like Rudy. House and his mom.
And the last one, number 1.
The number of times Howard Cosell was right. He said to Sports Illustrated, quote, "If there wasn't a Rudy Martzke, the industry would have to invent Rudy Martzke."
Hey.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, two of the more intelligent people in the background of Wisconsin, Rudy Martzke. Folks, a good friend of mine and a gentleman that I'm really happy to have here, I wanted to make his way up here right now. He's working with me on CBS's College Football Today. You see him every week. I'm proud to say that at the broadcast center on Saturday afternoons, he allows me to be his token white guy. Spencer Tillman, ladies and gentlemen, of CBS.
Woo! Rudy, I don't know Rudy that well, so I can't really rip you a lot. But we do have something in common. How you say a 35-year-old black guy has something in common with this guy who's been around forever. Since Cain slew Abel, he's been writing this garbage. But I have a friend of mine, actually he's a friend of my dad, said you guys grew up, used to play handball on the curve together when you were growing up. Yeah, that long time ago, handball curve, I'll wait till you get that one. Handball's about curve, about that high. On the curve. All right, your mom, listen, Rudy, they'll get it eventually. Your mom told me something too. Everyone was talking about how great a guy Rudy was. You didn't know this, but Rudy is a wonderful guy. He's a prince of a guy. In fact, he's an animal lover. His mom tells a story as I'm walking in that Rudy goes to the veterinarian one day and says, "Hey, look, I've got this problem with my dog." Says that the dog, and this is kind of embarrassing, so bear with me, I'm not used to telling this kind of stuff, but the dog kind of mounts my leg and kind of gives me the business, right? So the vet says, "No problem, we can take care of that." And Rudy says, "What are you going to do?" He says, "Well, we'll neuter him. We'll take it right off, we'll castrate him, we'll take care of it." Rudy goes, "Can you just trim the nails back a little bit?" So you see those marks on the neck of Rudy's neck. That's what that is. Rudy, I didn't know Rudy until I started working with This guy right here, who Jiminy Christmas. You guys were nice to him, though. This guy's something else, isn't he? 900 miles an hour. But Timmy, I appreciate you too. Someone said that, Corso, I believe, said that you're responsible for helping him. This guy's been responsible for helping me in my development, nurturing me along at CBS as well. And if you can do anything to help me get better than a C minus from this guy over here, I appreciate that as well. Listen, Rudy, I thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to come here and be with you, spend some time with you. This guy is a good guy. He's good people. Give him a round of applause. Rudy Martzke.
That was quick. It was a couple of minutes. That's the way we like it in the studio. Spencer. Some people wonder what happens to these guys that get these studio gigs with the NFL. Well, one thing they have in common, doesn't matter. You can be a wide receiver like Collinsworth, or you can be an offensive lineman like Randy Cross. Well, the one thing you have to have, ladies and gentlemen, if you're an ex-athlete, you have to have great hair. Don't you think they both have great hair? Check those out. Look at that hair on Randy Cross. Look at that hair on Cris Collinsworth. I'm telling you, George Jetson didn't have a better part. Randy Cross used to weigh 5,000 pounds. Okay? He got off the gas, got into television, and he shrunk. Now he really is in Gentleman's Quarterly now. Ladies and gentlemen of the NFL today, a Hall of Fame career to be sure, with the San Francisco 49ers, all of those Super Bowls, an NFL Pro Bowler du jour, Randy Cross of the NFL.
Thank you so much, Timmy. In case you folks don't watch that Saturday afternoon show that Tim does with Spencer Tillman, don't feel that Spencer was up here for a short period of time, because that in 1 year was more than I heard him get a chance to talk in about 20 weeks. And Lee, it's good to know everybody's full of crap and you weren't going to do all that stuff. Yeah, talk about a suck up. Mr. Dempsey, I was very glad also, Tom, that you did not kick Rudy, because as many lips that are spent on that ass, you could have kept every dentist in America working for about 2 months if you would follow through there. Yeah, one thing about Rudy is he's a guy that never really forgets people, never really forgets his friends, forgets guys in general. In fact, I'd love to see his Rolodex sometime, because never fails, he calls my house and asks for herbs. But one thing you might not know about is Rudy's got some surgery scheduled here pretty shortly. Something very, very important coming up. He's actually going to have his lips removed from Dick Ebersol's butt. You might have wondered actually how Rudy got his job at USA Today. I always wondered this, how exactly do you get a job like that? We heard about St. Louis, we heard about Buffalo, we heard about everything that had to happen. Well, the original editor, main editor at USA Today, had been in a horrible accident and actually basically had no ears. And was going to interview 3 people for the job. And was very, very sensitive what kind of reply he was going to get. And the first person, he sat down in the office and asked him, hey, look, what do you notice about me? The guy looks at him and says, well, you don't have any ears. He gets mad and goes, no, that's not it. I can't hire you. Next guy comes in and says, what do you notice about me? The guy looks at him and says, that's easy. You don't have ears. Gets all mad and says, no, that's not it. Rudy comes in and goes, what do you notice about me? And Rudy looks at him and says, you wear contact lenses. The guy says, that's pretty good. How'd you know I wear contact lenses? He goes, how are you going to hold up glasses with no damn ears? A couple of things here. Rudy's now an official Southerner, and I live in Country Club of the South in Atlanta with a guy that's known for redneck jokes. And Rudy's kind of become an honorary redneck. And now don't worry, Brando. See, Brando's from Louisiana. He takes this redneck stuff kind of seriously and personally. I grew up in Southern California, where we don't care about that stuff.
mean, heck, a redneck is anybody you didn't like. But I had something here. Where the heck is it? Oh, you might be, and it's not a redneck, but you might be like Rudy if you think harass is 2 words. You consider fast food hitting a deer at 85 miles an hour. And this definitely fits. You see a sign that says, say no to crack, and reminds you to pull up your pants. And this fits too, because Rudy did move just to Atlanta, like Craig was so nice to point out earlier. And you might be just like Rudy if your neighbors think you're a detective, but because the cops are always bringing you home. This has been a fun deal, and my wife Patrice is in the audience. She came with me tonight. And we're really lucky to have a guy like Rudy in this business, because we blame him for a lot of stuff. Everybody reads his article, nobody agrees with him. And if we didn't have a Rudy Martzke, who would all the PR people and executives and our business guys suck up to and swear they don't read? Thanks, Rudy. Congratulations.
Quick story about Phyllis and Rudy. Rudy, and this is true, Rudy works out of his home. He doesn't have an office. Excuse me, Rudy. And his wife Phyllis has a full-time job. So Rudy, with nothing to do one day, after he finished his column, what does that take, 10, 15 minutes? After he finished his column, you ought to read it if you think it takes longer than that. He's in the attic. I don't know what he's doing. I think that day he was in charge of cleaning the house. But he finds a box, and in the box are 3 golf balls and $20,000 cash. So Phyllis comes home, and he's really inquisitive type. And he says, honey, I got a real problem. I found a box that said, do not open, had 3 golf balls in it, $20,000. She said, I can explain, Rudy. She said, the 3 golf balls, we've been married almost 35 years. Every time we had bad sex, I put a golf ball in the box. I said, well, that's pretty good. We've been married 35 years. I really appreciate that, Phyllis. What's the $20,000 cash for? She said, well, every time I collected a dozen, I sold them.